Republican U.S. Representative Andy Ogles has fired off a series of anti-Muslim social media posts like this one you see here. It says, quote, "Muslims don't belong in American society." And there's this other post. It says, "Paper does not magically make you American. Muslims are unable to assimilate. They all have to go back." Okay, CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns is live on Capitol Hill for us today. Caitlin, what sort of backlash is he getting from these comments?
Hey, Mugo, good to see you. Well, he's getting a lot of backlash from Democrats. And I should note, this is not the first time he's been saying this kind of thing. Last year, he wrote a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi calling on then candidate, New York City mayor candidate, now mayor, Zoran Mandami, to be deported. And that, when he said that, a Democratic colleague, Richie Torres, introduced a resolution to censure him. And so this is not the first time he has been saying this sort of thing, and he's really keeping it up. And he's not the only member of Congress to be saying this sort of thing. You may remember a couple of weeks ago, Randy Fine, a congressman from Florida, Republican, also said similar, egregious things about Muslims. So he's getting a lot of backlash from Democrats, Mugo, but notably House Republican leadership at this point, at least for now, is not condemning him.
Interesting. Okay, Caitlin, President Trump is pushing for the passage of the SAVE Act. What is the status on that? Any chance that will actually pass?
Yeah, the president said that this is the most important thing to do, which is very interesting heading into a midterm election, considering that the election's likely to be waged on the economy, potentially the war, and the like. Yeah. He is really pushing for Republicans to pass this. A couple of things to take note of here. First, today, Senator John Cornyn, who's a Republican senator in a very tough primary challenge in Texas, came out today in an op-ed saying that he would like to change the filibuster rules in order to pass the SAVE Act. That is essentially a capitulation to Trump as he's seeking his endorsement, and speaks to the way in which this has become a key issue, at least among the base of the Republican Party at this point. They are really pushing for this, and John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, the Republican, has said, statement of fact, the votes just aren't there. You would need Democratic support to pass this. The votes aren't there. There are these calls to essentially blow up the filibuster to pass this legislation, and the votes for that aren't there yet either. So this is something we're going to be monitoring, is how much does the president and kind of the political apparatus rally around this cause and kind of identify this as the hill to die on when it comes to changing Senate rules. Now, the House last week passed a version of the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship to register to vote, among other things. But the president is also calling to add in a few provisions that just haven't been tested yet, and some of them are actually unrelated to voting and elections at all. So the president is putting, more pressure on Republicans up here on Capitol Hill, but also putting them in a tight spot by asking for things to be added to this bill that just haven't passed muster up here yet.
Okay, Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill for us today. Thank you so much.